right, welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of the Purified podcast. Today is January 24th, 2024. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Hey, it's your boy Pokemon Trigger, please. We're back at it again. We took a little bit of time, just because we were both sick when we would normally do it before.
Bro,
I'm still recovering, but
I-
I know you sound a lot better too.
yeah, no, definitely. I don't know. Last week was crazy. I got sick like right after, well, not right after the podcast, but it was more like a couple of days after the podcast. And it was a busy weekend. However, by the time I actually got, home, it was just like, I was like done. And I believe I had COVID. So I lost the taste. I lost smell. It basically just was a couch potato or a bed potato for the rest of the week. And by the time Chris and I actually got to hang out, and of course, we were actually getting to feel a little bit better. We did a raid hour for Therian Form Thunderous, and we were still like super sick. Chris was coughing up. He was just coming back from his trip too, and literally probably one of the worst times that we both had in quite a while. So. But yeah, it's been an interesting 2 weeks. I know that again it's been a week, 2 weeks since the last time we actually did something. So, and yeah, that was a while. But regardless of how it may be, we still have some news and updates. We technically skip over an event. We played it definitely, but we skip over an event, news and outlets. We'll cover it mostly. We'll only cover like the bits and pieces that matter about this one. And of course, we'll talk about our hauls because now we got 2 weeks worth of hauls. Although I don't believe I actually got anything good in the last 2 weeks.
I know I had some shit wrong.
I know, right? But yeah, it's been rough. Definitely the holidays ending and then now getting sick and everything. At least we're getting all out of the way before, the big moments next month. And that's actually what we're looking forward the most, And of course, Niantic's probably going to actually drop more news either tomorrow. And I'm going to cry until the next time we actually have a podcast. But that's because that's how it is. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, how's your 2 weeks been aside from getting sick, brother? I mean, how's everything in that regard?
It's been fun. What got me sick was I went up to Illinois to visit my fiance Juliet. And that was fun. The only thing was as soon as I got up there, I ended up getting sick like immediately, and so did she. So the whole trip we were just sneezing, coughing. We know it wasn't the flu or COVID, but yeah, we think it's just a cold.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
it's just
mean,
weird.
when it comes to Floridians being in the north, it's really not our cup of tea for our buddies because I think that's why we stay in Florida. But yeah, it's crazy. Did you see any snow or anything? Maybe not in game, but oh, cool.
Yeah, it snowed the first 2 days. It was funny. Like it snowed the first day. We got all the snow out of the driveway, and then the second day it snowed. Right after I grabbed some like actual like snow gear, and I was kind of laughing because it was like, we just grabbed snow gear, and then it starts snowing again. And then I was joking like, oh no, I gotta shovel the driveway again, like even though it's only my second time dealing with it.
Yeah, that's hilarious. But here in Florida, I think during one of the days that I was sick, I was at home and all of a sudden I opened the game. It's foggy weather. It's like the rarest weather in the entire world happened to actually, during the day that I was sick. I would have been at work regardless, but it would have been one of those things to imagine in the end of the day. But yeah, so you saw the second rarest weather in the world. I saw the first weather in the world and all that. Oh man, Zach, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it very, very much. But yeah, so we're here once again to talk about Pokemon Go news, updates, and ranting about the game because we love the game just as much as everybody else. Please don't forget to check us out at the PokemonProfessorNetwork.com/Purified Podcast. Wonderful people to work with every single day. We got some merch going through and everything, but they still release podcasts every week even though they're sick. That's how it is. So don't want you worry about that, y'all. All right, so we got around a couple of recaps to go through before we actually get into our hauls, because we had again 2 weeks worth of gameplay that we are actually supposed to recap when it comes down to it. We had technically three events, one ending by the time we were supposed to talk about the last podcast, which is the glittering, dazzling, gleam, whatever the case may be event with the fairy type Pokemons, which that was the week that I was completely sick, so I didn't get jack shit. But so we also had Battle Week, which we'll go over real quick. Because that was one of the events that actually got announced a little bit after our podcast last time, and then of course we just couldn't cover it from there. But again, we're just gonna talk about that pointers and things like that, because in the end of the day, it's already over, so we can't really give you any more pointers after that. We did have Porygon Community Day Classic happening on a Saturday, which again is one of those community days you're like, why? But it is how it is. So. Again, before we actually go and talk about our hauls, let's talk about the Battle Week, which basically was, one of those events in the end of the day. Actually, even before that, like the glimmering, dazzling, whatever the case may be, event that happened to be here. It came and went because, again, we were, doing our own thing when it comes. Oh, we also had the Pollution Ray Day,
Yes.
which I actually could not participate, even though I bought the ticket. So that was kind of the letdown. I did do my remotes, but yeah. So, Dazzling Gleam, good, bad, rating, I don't know. We did talk about it last week.
It. Yeah, I liked it a lot. Fairy's one of the rarer typings, I feel like, while it's still one of the strongest. Kind of like Dragon, which is very fitting since it is the, opposite of Dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Any good rating, bad rating? What are you giving it?
I don't remember. I didn't get to actually hunt too much of the event. The spawns are really good, but I'm trying to think how good the quests were, because I try to keep those in mind for the rating a lot.
We also had the time research for that too, which is what the hatch time research, the very first time research like that. Yeah.
I know a lot of people were complaining because they're like, "Oh, what? This is so hard. I gotta hatch one of each one." If it makes you guys feel any better, I didn't hatch a single event egg.
Yeah.
So I didn't hatch any of them.
So in two realities when it comes down to that time research, one of them, but it kind of made me wanting to hatch the 7K eggs, even though I wasn't really looking into hatching them. The 7K eggs had the small pool of the Pokemon that you needed, so that was one thing for sure. But regardless of how I may look at it, it kind of didn't feel like the best, because I know the community was, a little bit of distraught when it comes down to it. The second problem with that was that it was only a 3-day event. So we never really had that much of a time to really hatch the eggs that we needed to, if you wanted to hatch 7K eggs, unless you were using super incubators, which, it still helped out. But I was able to finish
doing it on just a freebie would be kind of hard.
Yeah, and I was able to finish it up because I did during the day that actually the event started. I hatched all my eggs. I was on a boat ride. And right at the end of that day, I got the super sick, so that was a different story. But I was on a boat ride, so my eggs hatched, pretty goodly throughout it, and I was able to just hatch all the eggs. And literally, I finished all the time research right before I got sick. I'm an egg. Yeah, okay, cool. But yeah, so I know that a lot of people got disappointed that this is something that it feels a little more of a cash grab because they wanted to hash those kind of things. Here's the thing. I hate you.
That's my second Sableye shiny.
Jesus.
What the
heck? But yeah, what I was gonna say is that look, I'm hatching an egg too. I don't know why. And look at that. Anyways, a lot of things happening here for no reason at all.
Get that backwards PvP IVs.
I know. There you go. But. In the end of the day, it was kind of like, if you were going to do it, that's fine. It kind of made you the ability to actually wanted to hatch those eggs, the ability to have Purified and all that stuff. I still didn't feel like it was the greatest, especially of the time uh, restriction on it. If it would have been at least a week, maybe it would have been a little bit easier for people to actually hatch those eggs. But 3 days just seems to be a really small opportunity, especially because it is a time research. It's not even a special research that will actually be in your inventory for the rest of your life until you start hatching those eggs or something. But it was kind of one of those things in the end of the day that seemed to
Yeah.
see both sides of the coin in the end of the day there.
Yeah, I paid for the timed research just because I thought that it looked like a good use of $2.
Yeah.
But I felt a little rushed for it, but I will say I was sick at home for a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But like when I went out, I did get extremely lucky that it was like a Ralt's spotlight hour and everything, and they were weather boosted. So for all the stardust and everything, that definitely helped. But I feel like I had to get pretty lucky to complete that on time.
Yeah. Yeah, again, it was one of those things in the end of the day. So, regardless, I mean, I know that we have. It's been a while since the event actually started ended, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it because in a few ways it wasn't really one of the greatest out there either. So I want to say maybe a 7 out of 10 will be
Ooh.
actually a good rating in the end of the day. It's not like over the top. The spawns were good because there was a lot of fairy type Pokemon I wanted, but in the end of the day, it was kind of like and it was such a short event with the ability of losing a time research if you needed to. So
Not
that
God tier.
yeah. Right after that, we had Typhlosion Raid Day, which again it was on a day that I was completely and utterly sick. So I actually committed it to the remote raid limit for the day. Unfortunately, by the time I actually got sick, it was already the day before, and was not even planning of even going raiding at that point or even remote raiding. So I did my 20 per the day, and I got myself one shiny. So Chris is already looking, saying I didn't get anything.
Yeah, it was still covered in snow, but I did get Julie to drive around. She has experience driving in the snow. I do not. So we went to campus, did the 5 in-person raids for free. I did not pay for the extra passes or anything. One because it was too cold to like walk around and everything, and when we did two, Julie didn't want to be out that long. I didn't really want to be out that long either, to be honest. But the last in-person one, I did get the Hundo Typhlosion, but I did not get a single shiny, and I did all the remote passes. So what's that? 25 raids. So,
Yeah,
uh,
in person and everything too.
but
Also,
yeah.
Chris, you're beginning to become missing go again for a second there. So,
Oh,
yeah, so be careful with the internet. But it's yeah, if I would have loved to have a little more experience when it comes down to the Explosion one, but even just getting that one hundo after 3 or 4 raids is fine. Some of members of the community got the hundo on the first one, and probably a few shinies in between. But I really did not want to get out of the house. I was definitely not going to sacrifice my health when it comes down to that. And the opportunity and the luckness that a remote race was still an option for me, even though as expensive as it was when it comes down to it, especially also because I did buy the tickets to get in the extra, passes for it. And unfortunately, I wasn't really able to take advantage of. I think I was only able to do 3 in-persons with that gym over there. And that was the only thing I was able to do anyway. So, but yeah, in regardless of maybe Typhlosion, not a bad thing. At least his soon Typhlosion is not a bad thing when it comes down to it. If I can type Typhlosion better. How do you even type Typhlosion?
Typhlosion.
Thigh explosion. Yeah, thigh explosion. There it is. There's my shiny. Hello. Yeah, I would have wished to actually get it a Honda, but I mean, I think the best one I got was like a 96, 15, 15, 13. So that's not bad, I guess, when it comes down to it. Way better than the actual, shiny Jotorian or the regular explosion, I guess, in the end of the day. But yeah. So of course that was that. That was our experiences with it. Chris experienced more snow than anything in the United States. So, and then after that, we go into the brand new event, which again, we would have actually covered it if we actually had, still had some feelings about it. But the Battle Week event, and again, Chris, just be careful with your internet there. The Battle Week event, which was the brand new release of an Ape into Pokemon Go, and the way to actually capture it. Now, this was also correspondence to the full GVL Battle Week event that we had that was announced earlier during the beginning of the season and all that. But the Rage Monkey Pokemon Anelli, it's out and about. This started and ended from the 19th to the 24th, which is today, the 24th, of course. Now, to be able to get an Ape, you can evolve one of your, previous primates or shinies or anything. So you actually can get a shiny Ape from the get-go. To be able to evolve this Pokemon, you need to first and foremost have primate as your buddy, and then defeat 30 ghost types or psychic types as your buddy. You do not have to defeat these Pokemon with primates. So basically, if you just have it as your buddy and then you just enter like a battle with either a leader or a Tingle Rocket that has ghost or psychic types, as long as you do up to 30 of them, you'll be able to evolve the primate into an LA for that reason. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We did have Tingle Rocket appear more frequently in the wild and in balloons. And then Thorn and Suck actually brought region luck, so we actually saw a lot of those, which unfortunately we just didn't get lucky with the shiny. A bunch of fighting type Pokemons and PvP Pokemons in the wild. One-star race also allowed us to actually, do a couple of Panchams in between, because Pancham was a shiny Pokemon in certain X, unfortunately. Collection challenge, the Go Battle week for the timeless travel. So if you were battling, you actually had to be able to do up to 50 battles per day, which is amazing, and then a time research for $2 for the raging battles. So all of that happened between the weeks and everything. And again, it just ended right at the end of our Spotlight Hour. So what do you think of this event, Chris?
Definitely fun. Release of Annihilate and fighting types are just really good.
Truth be told, Ape has actually demolished the meta since it was released a couple of days before the Play Pokemon event happened, and it actually kicked Medichan out of the top 12 most used Pokemon for the meta.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It is amazing. I want to say that it's amazing because Medichan has always been the kind of like the go-to Pokemon in any type of the meta, especially in the Play Pokemon events or even Go Battle League or anything. To have an Ape actually take reign of that as the fighting type Pokemon now seems to be a great addition to the current meta for what we have right now. So definitely something to be happy about. Because that doesn't mean that your Medichan is going to be useless. It's just that an Ape is going to be a more prevalent PvP Pokemon from here on out when it comes down to it. Mm-hmm. So... but yeah, that was the Battle Week event. Again, it just ended. We got our rewards from Spotlight Hour or Spot showcases and all that. So I got two firsts and a second. I mean, it is how it is.
I got a first.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do half in that actually. Let's see that medal. Let's see the medal. I got 62 out of 100. Once I reach 100, I'll get platinum medal for that.
Oh.
So I'm also getting invited to a raid. Ooh, Landorus. Nice. All right, now that we actually got to this point, I think it's time to talk about our hauls. Because, I mean, I know it's been like 20 minutes and we're like, oh yeah, we haven't even said anything about our hauls. So, you know what?
Yeah, just a little bit of the haul.
Well, it's been a lot of things happening the last 2 weeks, so we definitely just need to cover that before anything. But I did show a little bit of what I got, but, I'll let Chris go ahead because I actually got into a raid anyway, so...
Oh, okay. I already talked about the Hundo Typhlosion. I got a Hundo Vulpix, a Alolan, from a quest. A random shiny Clefairy.
Nice.
I go plus the shiny Cutiefly. Very happy about that. I got my second shiny Spritzy. So the fairy event, very nice to me. I did get a shiny Thundurus. I got a Skrelp Hundo from a quest. Happy about that one. I got 4 shiny Porygon. I will say the only good thing about Porygon, it looks pretty. And then right before the podcast, I got a 96 shiny Landers, 15, 13, 15. And then right before and then during the shiny Sable second Landers, 15. All in all, good win. And I did have 3 shinies run for me in the podcast, shiny Shadow someone. So all in all, week for Go Plus, all fighting types that I already. Oh wait, no, one was a Glide, and he's run for me for my Gar, Sableye, and then my Chop. I've already had them all, but I do always check to see if I had any new shinies run for me. But what do you have, man? All right, you still gotta read the Lander.
Yeah, I'm getting there, and
give him that ice, a little slushy.
Almost there, here and there. Yeah. So you got quite a bit of a hole, I know. And sorry for the audio listeners, but this is what you're gonna actually have to hear for a little bit, since Mr. Robotic here is internet is once again helping us out here. But don't you worry about that. This Landorus sucks, 21.89. I don't want it anymore, but it is what it is. I need the extra large candies actually, so I'm gonna catch it. Oop. I don't know what the heck was that. Oh, first ball catch, nice. That was easy. Okay, so Hundos. The last Hundo that I really got was the Boswell, so I'm not gonna be crying about the Hundos because that's not what I got this week. I've been really starving of Hundos. That's actually a surprise for me. I did get the Taplosion. I did get a Thunderous, and I did get a Thunderous and Tornadus. Sorry, I should say.
Oh.
I was able to do Polygon Spotlight Hour with my Go Plus and helping out a friend. So I did get maybe 19 of them with an extra shiny Shadow Dratini, which was my chase of this rotation before the next rotation happens, which we'll talk about in a moment. But I'm happy about getting that shiny Shadow before it actually went away. And after that, I just did a couple of trades, Greninja and Latios, and they weren't that good after that. So yeah, my haul was pretty abysmal this 2 weeks, even though it's been 2 weeks. To be told, I mean, one of those weeks I was in bed most of the time, so technically I didn't even have the chance to run my Gold Plus or anything during the time. So it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. Subat for Chris, just in case. No, okay, cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it for our recaps. I know a little bit longer than usual, but it is how it is. Let's go into today's research topics of the week. And we got some pretty spicy ones for the week, actually. Starting off with Tingle Rocket Returns, even though they just left, but they're not coming back. So, Tingle Rocket returns, Shadow Kyogre joins Giovanni, and Shadow Ho-Ho makes its Shadow Raid debut. Woo!
What a week.
What a week. So, Taken Treasures is the name of the event. This is happening Saturday, January 27 at 12 a.m. to Thursday, February 1st at 11:59 p.m. local time. Because it is a rocket event, it wants to start literally at that minute of the day. So it actually helps out. Be careful though, because I believe only the balloons are the ones that change over the time periods. I believe that, actually no, now that it's starting on midnight, I believe even the ones in the wild, the regular stops, the Shadow or the Grunts are actually going to be able to switch over to the new lineups because it's not starting at a time period of the morning when everything already spawn. The problem that we had previously is that every time we had any type of takeover, it started at 10 a.m. local time, and because of that, all of the rocket leaders and all of the rocket grunts still had the previous day's worth of rockets at this point. So we didn't really get the chance to hunt the first day, because the first day usually is overtaken over the old spawns, unless it's a balloon or something similar to it.
Yeah, maybe they did that on purpose.
That I think they actually learned from the mistakes, because a lot of the community members were also really taken aback. So it's kind of nice that they're starting exactly at 12, so that way every single rocket switches over at the time period. However, though, that is not the only thing that is actually happening. The single cell Pokemon Varoom and its evolution multi-cell Pokemon Veraroom will make its Pokemon Go debut. This is a Generation 9 Poison and Steel type Pokemon. but it will only be available in the 12-kilometer eggs. So that means that unfortunately you'll have to get to do some rocket leaders and get the eggs, and then hopefully get lucky enough to actually get the brand new Pokemon. It's not bad. It is kind of like introducing. It's also the Pokemon that technically I guess the bad guys of the generation do. I mean, I wouldn't really call it a bad guys because it's literally just, school bullies in this one. But
Team Star.
Anyways. But yeah, it's one of the cool Pokemons. Some people are saying that this could be a really good Ultra League Pokemon, especially Room with his typing, which walls any fairy types out there. So it's definitely something that you could actually use. It also has quadruple witness to ground, so be very careful when that happens. So basically a little bit of mud will just make it go away. But Tingle Rocket will appear more frequently in Pokestops and Balloons. We kind of already had that, but it's kind of coming back anyways. And you can also charge CM Frustration from your Shadow Pokemons. Woohoo! This is one of the things that people want. However, the most exciting part about this is to save Shadow Kyogre. We're finally getting to the point where Giovanni's getting some good legendary Pokemon Shadows for the first time in a while. So you can battle Giovanni and save Shadow Kyogre from his clutches. You claim the seasonal special research story up to the end of Timeless Travel seasons on March 1st, up to 10 a.m. local time. However, the thing about this, and I actually was listening to another podcast when it actually talked about this, is that you do kind of have to do this lineup throughout the season, the timeless travel season, because it looks like it won't be available after timeless seasons end. And that's actually a little bit different because a lot of people actually save the Rocket or Super Rocket Raiders or the research for Giovanni until Giovanni gets a really good Pokemon that people want, and that's when they start doing the actual things. So if you've been saving up your Super Rocket Radar research to actually get to that point, you might want to actually do it as soon as possible. And this is a good time to really do it because Shadow Kyogre being one of the best non-mega Pokemon water type for raids and everything similar to it. So you really want to actually get this Pokemon in your hands, as many as you can if possible, for that reason. Any thoughts on that, Chris?
I know my girl Julie gonna have 2. That's all I know though.
That's good. At the same time, the Shadow Raid debut, Shadow Ho-Ho was making his debut in Shadow Raids. Meaning that from the weekend itself, of the Saturday, January 27 at 6 a.m. to Sunday, January 28 at 10 p.m. local time. If you're lucky, you might encounter a shiny Shadow Ho-Ho. I like that I can do this one. I'll definitely, try to meet up with Chris or any other in the community who wants to do a couple of raids during this weekend, if I'm able to go out.
Yeah. I'm glad it's going to be an easy one, or an easier one, because of the quad weakness.
Just use Rock, y'all. Just use Rock. That's all you got to do.
And make sure you TM.
True. I do have a Hondo Ho-Ho, so I'm really not much of a difference when it comes down to it. But getting the Shadow Shiny or getting the Potassium Shando will be nice. If I can just recreate the Lugia part, I'll be happy about that.
Oh, my.
Shadow Pokemons are also getting a little bit of shakeup. We have a couple of Pokemons actually being introduced into the Shadow rotation, that being Corphish, Snorunt, Chimchar, Piplup, Crognut, Dwebble, and Ferroseed. So a lot of them actually having really good PvP potential in that regard, especially with Shadow giving it that extra boost. We'll definitely have to see how the meta changes, but will be your best opportunity to catch them and TM Frustration before the next Tungo Rocket takeover or whatever Shadow Pokemons are available at that time.
Shadow Empoleon's going to go hard.
Oh, yeah. Especially in the Ultra League, that thing is going to be a nuts. I do foresee maybe Ferroseed. Dwebble could actually make an appearance again, but again, just being as squishy it is. But Crognut is actually going to be insane.
Yeah, people are really talking about that guy.
Yeah, just imagine also Shadow Frostlass.
Yeah, I think that's a fun one.
So we're definitely going to have a little bit of a shakeup of how well this rotation will actually be when it comes to the Shadows. Expect to see a lot of other GBL Pokemon eligible Pokemons from here on out, so be very careful out there. 1-star race, Alolan Rattata, Alolan Meowth, Alolan Grimer, and Galarian Zigzagoon. And 3-star race, Weezing, Galarian Weezing, Tyranitar, and Bombardier. Kind of interesting lineup. I'm not sure which one actually makes sense the most, but it is how it is. Shadow Race will also once again having a little bit of shake up in the 1s and 3 stars. Shadow Alolan Sandrew, Shadow Murkrow, Shadow Pineco, Shadow Crognot, Shadow Scyther, which is actually pretty cool. Shadow Skarmory and Shadow Colette. Shadow Scyther is actually coming back after a long time, really, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the last I saw him.
I think it was when Jesse and Jens was in Balloons. That's when we're getting our Shadow Shinies.
Yeah, maybe.
So, because I have a lot of them. So, I got quite a bit of them. So, this is actually your chance in that regard. But yeah, that's actually interesting to say the least. Even Colette and Shadow Skarmory is actually pretty good. Once again, Remoraid will appear in 12 kilometer X in addition to the currently Pokemon that are hatching already from the X. Field Regions encounters will have things like Ekans, Zubat, Coffin, Paldean, Wooper, Hisuian Quillfish, Poochyena, Sableye, Crognot, Scraggy, Marini, Brushix, and Nimble. I don't know why the Nimble is there, but that's how it is, I guess.
He just showed up.
I know, right? Pokemon showcases are available for different type of Pokemon throughout the event. The Tingle Rockets Wet Bundle will be available for $9.99. The event bundle with 300 Pokecoins will get you an incubator, 1 Rocket Raider, and 1 Premier Battle Pass. And then the $5 ticket for the event. I guess we should expect pay time research for this in the end of the day. It would include Stardust, Experience, 1 Instance, 1 Incubator, 3 Silver Pineapple Berries, and more encounters with Eventing Pokemon, and an Eventing Avatar pose, which actually looks pretty sick in that regard because it looks like a Pokeball you're just like, trying to throw hands with people. And that's pretty much it. That is the Tingle Rocket Takeover and I guess the name of the event, which is Taking Treasures. Definitely an event to really look out for. It's going to basically be the rest of the weekend. I'm actually kind of liking that most of the events are actually starting on the weekend. I do like that little change that they did. Instead of like a Thursday or Tuesday or something similar to it,
Yeah, it gets you excited for the weekend for sure.
Yeah, instead of like rushing through the weekend and be like, I need to finish this. But definitely something to look out for. There's definitely a lot of potential out there, especially for PvPers out there. But, get your rooms going if you can. You have any thoughts about it, Chris, before I lose your connection again?
I think it definitely looks like fun. I'm not too excited to try to hatch Reverum or Verum, but other than that, the whole Shadow Pokemon, everything is pretty hype.
Yeah, I believe so too. We do have another event leading up to Sinnoh, so this kind of actually news are actually being happening to be released a little bit earlier than usual. But I mean, the month of February is almost here. It's literally a week away before that actually happens. So getting those type of news and maybe the Tampa news, which I'm thinking is going to happen tomorrow, guys. But anyways, I know, right? But here we go. Embark on a Sinnoh-inspired adventure during the Road to Sinnoh event. So basically, the Sinnoh Go Tour is, very close, getting closer, less than a month away at this point. So they want to celebrate with us with another event leading up to it. So time for celebration before the Pokemon Go Tour Sinnoh Global kicks off for trainers around the world. Jump into some Sinnoh-inspired fun during the Road to Sinnoh event. Trainers attending the Pokemon Go Sinnoh Run in Los Angeles can get the party started even sooner. Of course, you can buy your ticket, get it, and then of course get the global event for free because it is free anyways. So what's happening this specific week? So happening on Monday, February 19 at 10 a.m. to Friday, February 23rd at 10 p.m. local time. The Road to Sinnoh paid tickets. All right, here we go. Anyways, enhance your journey to Sinnoh with a new event tickets. Enjoy additional bonuses, eventing, time research, and new avatar items. Perfect for a trainer who wants to make the most out of the Sinnoh celebration. Trainers taking part in the Pokemon Go Sinnoh Global on February 24th and 25th can take advantage of these ticket bonuses throughout the event weekend. So if you buy these tickets, basically you're expanding your global experience. That's a good thing because, again, a lot of people are saying that the global event just doesn't have that much appeal to it aside from the actual event stuff that they already gave us. But now, if you were to buy these tickets, it will go over and fall over to the actual event itself. So you will be getting more for your buck in the end of the day. These tickets will be available to purchase on Monday, February 19. And trainers can purchase either one or both other tickets. Excuse me, drowsy. Each ticket features unique time research, task rewards, and bonuses. So the very first $5 ticket, or equivalent to your local currency, the rate will be available. This time research rewards you through the inclusion of 10 Dialga candy, sorry for that, 10 Palkia candy, 5 Heatran candy XL, 5 Giratina candy XL, 5 Cresselia candy XL, and 5 Darkrai candy XL, and an Eevee fan mask. Plus, enjoy additional 5,000 experience for completing raids, 1 additional candy awards from catching Pokemon in raids, and 2 additional raid passes from spinning Pokestops at gyms each day. And again, that's between the 19th and the 25th, which definitely, moves over to when you're actually doing it. So basically, you'll be getting, 14 free raid passes throughout the entire event, plus, Sinnoh and everything. Which is not bad for $5, really. It's actually like the same as what a raid they would usually give you anyways. But definitely something like that. The Eevee hat, I kind of wish they had the ears or the mask. Whatever.
Yeah, the Eevee hat definitely looks kind of funny to me.
Yeah, so that's interesting to say the least. Also, you are getting some buck for your extra large candy for each one of the Pokemon you need. Although I feel like 5 may be a little bit too low when it comes down to that. But I know we'll be rating it a lot when it comes down to it. Road to Sinnoh Hatch. So the second time research ticket. This one will focus on hatching. The time research rewards to Road to Sinnoh Hatch include encounters with the following Pokemon: Pachirisu, Chatot, Carnivine. All regionals encounter with shiny possibilities throughout the event. So that means actually by the time this Road to Sinnoh thing happened, the LA one already started or ended. So basically they already shiny available at the time. I thought they were actually releasing it before the events, and then I forgot that, the global is the weekend before. So, which is not bad in the end of the day. You'll also be able to get a Pikachu fan mask and the following bonuses: 2 times Hatch experience, 2 times Hatch candy, and 2 times Hatch Stardust. It doesn't look like that we get a bonus on hatching, so we'll be hatching eggs the regular way.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Again, all this time research expires, so make sure you ended it before Sunday, February 25th at 8 p.m. local time, which is the end of the full global event. The following Pokemon appear more frequently in Wild, Turtwig, Chimchar, Piplup. And then some trainers may even encounter Grotto, Moferno, and Prinplup. I don't know why those, but okay. I mean, they're just stars.
Just for the extra large. That's really it.
Yeah, but, nobody cares about regular starters from Sinnoh because, we have Hisuian Typhlosion and all that, whatever. Raids for the following of those days. Actually, it says right here, the following Pokemon appear in raids. These Pokemon appear in 5-star raids each day will also be featured in raid hour from 6 to 7 p.m. local time that day. Our 1-stars, Turtwig, Chimchar, Piplup, 3-stars, Grotto, Moferno, and Prinplup. So again, don't do the 1-stars or the 3-stars. On Monday, February 19, we'll have Darkrai, and we'll have a raid hour equivalent to that. On Tuesday, on February 20, we'll have Cresselia, and a raid hour equivalent to that. On Wednesday, February 21st, we'll have the Lake Trio, Uxie, Mesrin, and Alcer, correspondingly to their local appearances. So Asia Pacific region, Europe, and the Americans, which kind of sucks because if you're actually trying to complete the desk, that's one of those things that you need the most. 5-star race. So for Thursday, January 22nd, will be Heatran. And then on Friday, we'll have Origin Form Giratina coming back for one full on day. All of them can be shiny. All of them will be amazing, except for the 3-stars.
Yeah.
I'm more inclined to just go out on Friday.
Yeah.
Because I'm
looking at the raid bosses.
I wouldn't mind going on a Monday either, but I don't want to make the trip to actually do like every single raid hour for 6 to 7 every single day for the week. I'm literally not going to be able to actually appear to each one of those raid hours. So, however, the maze may be from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. local time, or 10 a.m. Yeah, whatever the time the event starts for those specific hours. All those raid bosses will be available throughout those specific days. If you are actually planning, this is my advice to this. Don't go to every single one. If you can, great. If your community can actually handle it, amazing. But don't go to every single one.
Yeah, I'd say don't feel like you need to. Yeah.
Correct. Prioritize really what you want in extra large candies and everything if you really want to go to a specific raid hour. Now, to highlight each one of them, we'll make a little assumption. So Darkrai is a mythical Pokemon. So we definitely, if you do want to get a good one for yourself, that will be the best one to really go for, because you cannot trade the Pokemon for anybody. So it cannot be, you can't just get a shiny and then trade it with somebody else and things like that. So if you're really looking for something that's almost non-untable throughout trades, Darkrai will probably be the best one to go to. Cresselia, the only really good thing about Cresselia is that you actually, it's a PvP viable Pokemon for the Ultra League. It can also be a bit of one available for the Gray League, but you do have to trade it with a low-level account to get under 1500. So again, if you're more of a PvP goer kind of thing, I would suggest doing that. The Lake Trio, I really don't have too much good things to say about it, because unfortunately, at least in ours, in the Americas, we'll get Absol. But if you are actually in those other places where it's a lot harder to get those Pokemons, I mean, go ahead and do them. If you can just get one of each, I think it's more than enough. If you can get, if you want to save some of your remote raid passes for it, that's fine. But again, you only have 5 limited still. There's no unlimitation on this. Actually, there will be one. So we'll talk about it in a second. Heatran. I do like Heatran because it is a good Master League Pokemon, especially with his special move. But this doesn't actually say that it will have his special move throughout the event. So you will have to have an elite Charge CM if you really want to give it his Magma Storm ability, which actually makes it a little more viable in the Master League in that end. Now, Giratina, it's been a Pokemon that has been out and about for a while, yet we haven't seen it come back in over a year. Giratina Origin Form, for that reason, is still a very strong Ghost-type Pokemon in the meta. Master League, I mean, I don't think it gets its signature move, but regardless of me, it's probably one of the best ones out there out of the whole bunch, and its shiny is amazing. So, those are the ones that I really recommend, but again, prioritize what you want instead of trying to do every single one. And if I could, I would, but unfortunately, I'm not taking the week off. I'm just taking a couple of days. I might be able to do Darkrai because I believe Darkrai falls under a holiday. I'm not 100% sure on that. Oh, yeah, it is a holiday. I think it's President's Day. But that may be one of the things that I can do. Definitely don't think I'm going to go to raid hour for Wednesday if that's the case. Tuesday, I'm not even thinking that's going to be possible. And yeah, I think Friday will be the only one for me in the end of the day. What do you prioritize yourself, Chris, on this one?
Honestly, the only reason I'm doing Monday is just because I'm off.
Yeah, you go, see? And you wouldn't be able to even do Friday for that reason, right?
Yeah. I don't see myself being able to do a lot of Giratina, except for when I'm on my 15-minute break.
Yeah, there you go. See? So, again, don't kill yourself over doing any of this. One thing that we'll always mention to this podcast is that everything comes back after a while. It's not like it's going to be locked away for a couple of years or anything like that. I know Giratina did get a little bit of time off in there, but it comes back. It will come back. Armor Mute, well, I mean, depending on the Pokemon. But most of the time, Pokemons come back through the rotations and will allow us to do more in that sense. So we definitely think that doing those kind of raids, don't kill yourself over at the end of the day. So then we have eggs throughout the event. 2 kilometer eggs, so not even 7. So this is actually a good thing. The following Pokemon will hatch from this: Bidoof, Chingling with the shiny form, Bonsly, Happiny, Munchlax, Riolu, and Mantai. I am hatching every single one of this until I try to get the shinies that I want. Because
yeah, that's an awesome pool.
That is an amazing aggressive pool because Riolu is rare, Munchlax is rare, Chingling being a brand new shiny, Mantine is rare. I don't care about Bonsly, Happiny, or Bidoof, but that's because I already had them. So Definitely something to look out for. And of course, you'll be hatching a lot of those eggs in the end of the day. Hopefully they're prioritized, giving us more 2K eggs than any of the other eggs throughout the event, but we'll see how it goes. Event bonuses. Okay, so we do actually have event bonuses. Half distance egg hatching distance when eggs are placed in incubators, so that's actually pretty good. There will be the remote raid pass limit will be increased to 10 from Monday, February 19th to February 22nd, and then on February 23rd, and from Friday, February 23rd to Sunday, February 25th, will be no limit on remote raid overall. Which, unfortunately, you also have to think that the price of remote raids is still pretty high. So only do them at your discretion if you can, and don't, overspend if you don't have to. Again, you're not killing yourself over the small raids or the legendaries that you don't need every single time. However, though, this is two exciting things. And we'll go over the remote raids in a moment because I know a lot of people are kind of like talking about it anyways. Time research. So time research will be available throughout the event. Completed tasks to earn encounters with the following event team Pokemon: Heatran, Origin Form Giratina, Cresselia, and Darkrai. You know what's so cool about this, Chris? Each one of them is under the ability to get Great League possibilities.
What?
Yep. Because they'll be at the level of research, not the level for raids.
That is awesome.
Cresselia definitely one that a lot of people are looking out for. But Heatran, Origin Form, and Darkrai? Whoo, baby. It's going to be an interesting meta once those are kind of released. But again, you only get one, so just be very careful of which one you would do. And you don't really get PvP IVs for them, so that will be another interesting stuff in the other day. To be told, unfortunately, in the Great League, a lot of these legendary Pokemon are just way too squishy because they're actually stronger when you level up higher to those metas in Ultra League and Master League for that, respectively. Cresselia is really the only really good bulky one out of the all four, but definitely something to look out for and finish if you can.
Yeah, it'd suck if you got a hundo too. Like you specifically want one for Great League and you finally get a hundo.
That would be insane. Then we have field research tasks happening throughout the event, which, will be like that. And new avatar items, Giratina helmet, Giratina wings, Giratina jacket, Diamond Clan outfit, Diamond Clan boots, Pearl Clan boots again, or outfit and boots, I'm sorry, and Team Galactic outfit. So pretty cool, actually. And there is that Gold Tour 2020-24 t-shirt.
That's sweet.
That looks pretty cool, actually. I'm still killing myself for not actually getting the one for Hoenn. But
I was really surprised.
Dude, I spent so much money already that I feel like if I were to spend another like $25 and everything on the shirt, I'd be like, oh my god. And stickers, a lot of stickers. Those stickers actually look really, really cool. Actually, I really do like them. So,
Ooh.
So there you are, guys. The road to Sinnoh is almost upon us. Again, we're almost a few weeks away. Which surprisingly, the month of January has already been come and go at this point, so which is amazing. So take it as maybe 2024 is probably going to be the fastest year in our lifetime. So, but that's not all, and we got more news. Anyways, let's get ready to rumble. Before we actually get to that, any thoughts on this event, Chris? Anything that you are wanting to employ into our knowledge?
Not too much. I don't think there's too much to say as opposed to like the Shadow event. Just have fun. It looks like it has a lot of Legends Arceus vibes going on too, which I'm really happy about.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot when it comes down to Sinnoh, which will probably recap more when Global comes around, since we will not be attending the live in-person event anyways. But yeah, so that's that. Quick thing about the Pokemon, or I guess I should call it the Pikachu's Indonesia Journey, a collaboration event is coming to Bali, Indonesia. So they're excited to announce that the Air Adventures collaboration continues. This time journeying all the way into Indonesia. I guess I should say more Bali, Indonesia, starting on March 2nd and the 3rd. This also introduces a brand new Pikachu with a new shirt and new balloons when it comes down to it. So you can also get those shiny. The only reason why we're actually mentioning, because again, it is an event that if people are actually able to go, that's great. But that's unfortunately something that we won't be able to attend because it's
No.
way too expensive for us anyways. So there is a price ticket to actually apply to if you want to actually go to the event. It starts from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. local time from March 2nd to March 3rd. I'm sorry that I don't know what actual kind of currency it's called. I guess I'll just call it Indonesia currency. It is 150,000 Indonesian, which I believe it kind of equals out to like $15 or something like that. So I don't know. Again, don't quote me on that because I just made a rough estimation of the price. That's all. Increased shiny encounters, so which increased chance to encounter shiny Pokemon, special research, location cards, field research, collection challenge, surprise encounters with snapshots, and all that. We have a bunch of Pokemons in the feature pile. If you do want to go over them, just make sure you go to the website. You actually get to check them out. You also have quite a bit of raids going around, including Mega Latios and Mega Latias, which is, always a welcome addition. Exclusive attacks for Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise. Latios and Latias. So each one of them will have technically their community day move plus their special moves through Latios and Latias. So that's pretty nice regardless. Which I completely forgot that that's something you should probably put in my hundos anyways. So, and then the bonuses, you can get up to 3 special trays per day. Instance activated throughout the date time listed will last for 8 hours. So that's crazy.
Ooh.
6 additional raid passes while you spin photos this at gyms. Stingo Rocket Balloon will appear more frequently. And then Buddy may find exclusive paper airplane souvenirs.
That's actually kind of cool. Like, I'm not a big fan of the souvenirs, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I do say those to myself. But of course, something that... It's only just news for you guys if you really want to go to it. So that's actually crazy. Just let us know. I mean, we would love to see if you actually had some experiences through that. And if you're actually able to go and then let us know what kind of experience you had through the event, just please email us. We would love to actually feature out in the podcast and in that sense,
Yeah, I always think it's cool when people post online the exclusive stuff, like when the guy got the Shundo Eevee with the little safari hat.
Yeah, from the Safari Sons. Yeah, I do like those kind of things. So, again, something to go forward with, looking forward to it. If you're able to go to that, just let us know. I mean, we will really appreciate hearing that information out there. But yeah, that's the Indonesia journey. They have air adventures, like they're calling it, with the Pikachu throughout the year. It continues on, which is nice, Each part of the world is getting a little bit of everything. We do have a little bit of sleep news. I know Chris is yawning. I know Drowsy lost me, so.
Yeah, I was just reminding you.
I know, right? A little bit of sleep news. We did actually get a big update recently, introducing a brand new island, Lapis Lake. Yeah, Lapis Lake is actually the brand new island. It is actually a stronger island than the one we currently have, which is the Tundra, or Snow Point Tundra. And to be able to unlock it, you need 240 sleep styles. Which I don't think Chris has actually gotten to that point at this point.
I don't think so. I keep trying to check how many I have, but
that the game actually now you have the little goal, your next goal, so now you know how many you're actually missing.
Oh, it does tell you now?
Yeah, after 3 p.m. they updated that. So
yeah, I need 16.
Okay, I'm actually 4 away, I think.
Yo.
So it would be nice to really go there. A lot of people are saying that if you actually go and actually use, because at the time of recording of this podcast, by tomorrow or by the next day, the Good Sleep event is actually happening. So if you are using your easy ticket to actually go to the new island and reset your Snorlax, this is the best chance because 2 things are going to happen. One, you're going to get the best drowsy power throughout the days. Even though you're going to get killed because it is one of the worst ways to actually get drowsy power. But the Good Sleep event is actually going to apply to that, so that's pretty good. Also, you get the bonus area as soon as possible. However, the only reason to really go there is for the new Pokemon to be released a little bit early. However, though, starting Monday, January 29, we'll have a 2-week Green Isle event, which is my very first island. Well, you'll be able to encounter all these brand new Pokemons like Dratini, Ralts, Stuffle, and their evolution lines throughout the event. You also get instants for those events. You'll be able to use them throughout the event period and get brand new styles when it comes down to it. So don't worry too much about going to the new island if you're not looking to actually power up so quickly. Because at the end of the day, Pokemon Sleep is going to tell you you're going to basically not even reach Ultra if you actually get to that point. But there's going to be some cool evolutions there, here and there. Adding some new... Actually, they added brand new ingredients and brand new dishes. So that's something that I'll definitely be, prioritizing throughout my adventures in the Green Isle for the first 2 weeks until I get the ability to go to Green Isle. But I don't think I'll be able to move, or I don't think I want to move to the new island for 2 reasons. One, I don't have a very good team for it. And 2, I can barely even reach Ultra 5 in the Tundra right now. So I do require a little bit of more help if I want to actually get to the point where I want to be. And once I even reach Masters, I may actually dip into Lapis. But again, it's just one of those things that you really got to be careful. And also, just to make sure you guys know, the island's favorite berries are set to be fighting types, psychic types, and... what was the last one? Oh, yeah, grass types. Yeah, so grass, psychic, and fighting will be the best favorite berry for Snorlax throughout the island. So any grass types that you have, like a Bulbasaur or Venusaur already, Bayleaf seems to be really good, or even Meganium at this point. Primate will also be very nice because it is one of those berry finding ones. And a bunch of other things that happen. If you guys want to listen to more news, we love to actually talk more about it. If you actually wanted to join our Discord, we'll give you more information there. But I just wanted to point out what's happening in the last few days and how everybody's going crazy over this new island. So hopefully we get some shiny Pokemon in Green Isle.
Yeah, it's been a good week of shinies.
Oh yeah, you got some good ones, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been Shinyless for like over 3 weeks, I think, but whatever.
Oh, they're waiting for the new island. Don't worry. You'll get that shiny Dratini.
Oh, just give me a good God tier Dratini and I'll be happy. That'll be the very first Dragon type Pokemon too. At least for me. Because I know that Altaria you can encounter it and that's a Dragon type, but...
Yeah, I still haven't seen an Altaria yet.
I don't think so either.
I just don't have any Dragon for the badge.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all that's Sleep News for now. Again, if you guys want to hear more, we definitely would like to cover because we're addicted to the game as much as Pokemon Go at this point. So, real quick, we'll get into our PvP section. Get good, get wrecked. Here we go, Chris. So, GBL was actually very interesting since all 3 leagues were happening. And of course, people were actually able to do at least 50 battles per the Battle Week event that we just had. Chris, you probably didn't do any.
I only did enough, and I finished them today.
Oh, nice.
For the little hat.
Yeah, I did finish the time research for it too, so it was actually kind of nice. So I did get that hat too from Igo or Eagle or whatever its name is. But it was kind of fun because 4-time experience or Stardust from winning sets and all that will always be a welcome addition, and you get to pick the leagues that you like. I was trying an Ape and everybody wanted to counter me though.
Yeah, they're ready for it, man.
Yeah, like I was like an Ape fairy type. I'm like, God damn it, an Ape flying type. It's like an Ape, okay, water type. Okay, I'll deal with it. But yeah, so it is one of those things in the day. Then something real quick, actually something that I wanted to point out, and maybe actually shout out to the persons at the Battle Cats podcast, which actually made quite a bit of a discovery in their latest podcast out there. And this is how the future of Pokemon Go updates are going to happen, because it seems that it's something that they may have to look into if Pokemon Go is actually, Niantic itself has a set schedule of when releasing events, especially seasons, and how those seasons correlate to, Go Battle League events and Go Battle League changes or things like that. they actually made the discovery that during their user recording is the potential big issues in the future GBL updates happening on June 1st and possibly December 1st of this year. So again, Niantic just needs to reconsider how they're gonna be moving forward with the kind of things. When I ask about what's going on about this type of events or this type of dates specifically, looks like on June 1st will be the brand new a brand new season of whatever is happening throughout the summer. And let me actually see here. Yeah, so June 1st and the 2nd, there's gonna be a Pokemon Japan Championships happening.
Oh,
So imagine a brand new shakeup on the moves and things that are happening throughout the new, brand new season, and then happening an actual championship happening that will eliminate most of the things, and people are not going to be prepared and those kind of things. So especially because let's say Charm gets some kind of buffs or something like that, and it's right on the beginning of the event, and people get half the update. Maybe now they're whatever fairy types they bring, they're gonna be overpowered, and they're not gonna be in balance when it comes down to this because they're not getting towards practices. So I know it's along the way before we actually get to those points, especially because Worlds is also happening this year and all that, but that may not be affected by any of the changes that are happening, but it could be affecting other tournaments out there for those specific dates. So be very careful. I want to just give it out to Niantic, who hopefully look into it, maybe apply the changes a couple of days later or after those days of specific moments, just to make sure that everybody's on par to the actual season itself before big events like that happen in the future. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything else that you think you might cover, Chris?
I mean, it's another season of Battle Frontier for all the factions. I'm still not up to battle yet, but I am trying to keep an eye on what the metas are.
Make sure you get that analyte ready, brother.
Yeah, honestly, though.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes down to it. So, I do want to thank everybody to listening to the podcast today. Thank you so much for actually waiting for us. Quick side note, we did actually have another good 200 downloads last week, which I'm actually kind of surprised. So thank you so much. We just feel like you guys have been amazing just because of that. So I'll keep shouting out as much as I can when it comes down to it. But once again, thank you so much for listening, everybody. If you can, make sure you listen to us in the podcast services feeds, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, and all those places. If you can leave us a review, we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Follow our social media, myself at Pure Let It Go, Chris at PKMN Trigger, please, with a C at the end. Also, check us out at the Purified Podcast Twitter handle or X handle, whatever the case may be. You can email us info or anything you want to actually talk about, even your adventures out there, at thepurifiedpodcast@gmail.com. We'll shout it out on the podcast itself. Join our Discord. It is free. It is, you guys can actually check us out there anytime. Don't forget to check us out at the purifiedpodcast.com, the Professor Network. Now, before we go, I actually want to do a little bit of sneak peek to something that I've been working on for the last few days. Somebody was able to actually do something specifically for me, so I'm actually very happy about it. And that's just because the podcast is actually reaching its 4-year anniversary. I kind of wanted to do it more for the fifth year anniversary for the podcast, but we definitely feel like this is the time. It's time to do a little bit of an update, and I definitely think that little by little we'll work on it. Now, will everything be ready by the time the anniversary comes around? I'll try to work my hardest, but just a sneak peek for you guys about what is to come. So make sure you guys stay in touch. Keep listening to the podcast, and if you can, check us out there for everything. All right, guys? So thank you, guys. Once again, Chris, how about you take us away for the night?
All right. It's going to be a fantastic time, especially as we get closer and closer to the Sinnoh Tour. I hope you guys are looking forward to the anniversary as much as we are. Yeah, a lot of exciting stuff going on in Pokemon Go. I'm definitely super, super hyped with everything we got going on.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, see you guys next week. Where hopefully we got even more news for you. It looks like we're going to have more news with how much they've been piling it up.
Oh, no, yeah, I think I love you and hate you at the same time. So it is how it is. Well, yeah. Thank you so much once again. Keep purified, everybody. We'll see you guys next time.